Hey, hello everyone. This is DayTraderRockStar and a midweek update going into October 6th, Wednesday. What a great day we had. A couple reasons I'm doing this video. Of course, I want to congratulate everyone for some great trading in the room today. Also, as you know, I am actually not going to be trading in the rest of the week. I am going to be I guess welcoming a new baby into the household, so we're going to be taking care of that over the next couple of days. And so I want to get this video out and pretty much just review some of the. I want to actually go out and send this out to everyone, just because kind of a little celebratory update there. So this is going to go over the 10 for 1,000 watch list, some new setups, and why do I think that the market has a good shot of moving higher from here, and two sectors that are just set up perfectly. We've talked about these in the past. I want to start on those too. So it's going to be kind of an intense video, maybe break it down to two videos, but I hope you enjoyed it. And if I do not talk to you before Sunday night when the new 10 for 1,000 watch list is going to come out, then I wish everyone well tomorrow. I should try to check in a couple times over the next couple days, but tomorrow might be a little tough. So with that, we start off with, this is actually the stocks off the 10 for 1,000 watch list. I'll just review each one of them very fast. We'll try to do this as fast as we can. ATHR, again, we got in this one yesterday on a pullback and added to it today, closed near the highs. Reason I like this one, basically, it was a nice, it's a tech stock here, a downtrending stock, and it actually pulled back. This is the first pullback. Just timing the pullback, scaling in lightly, add into it today as we see a good possibility of this might be that bottom. And again, out of all the setups that I take in the market, they're all based on a set of criteria, and this is actually like a level where you have your A set of criteria on lower trend lines, stochastics, everything else, the five indicators. Like the B team is when you do get that breakout of the channel. This is also a great entry on a pullback out back into the trend line. The stochastics weren't set up, but I did like the pullback, so I always try to take those type of pullback plays also. BAC, and we're going to go more into BAC in a bit. Bank of America and the financials, or the banks in general, are set up here, and that's one of the reasons. The old saying is the financials, could really rally the market, or without the financials, the market really can't rally. And it was said about that, and it was said about the transports. Well, both the transports and the financials here are set up to rally. So that's why I think there's a good shot if we do get some follow through on the banks. Bank of America today had a very positive day. We had the bullish crossover in the stochastics. Again, buying it on this pullback, same scenario. Stochastic divergence for first pullback. We'll just go through the rest of the financials, or the rest of the banks here. Here's Goldman. Similar situation on the stochastics. A turn up. This recent level here held off of its recent low down here. So of course we have that nice little divergence, and we should get that follow through. Wells Fargo, which there's a new position, and again, just the only reason we take this position is because the indicators are saying this is what's going on here. We have oversold levels. We had to pull back to the trend line. We had an established trend line, so they break out that first pullback, oversold stochastics, turning back up and starting to rally out of here. So WFC looking excellent there. And just to take a look at one more thing, this is the XLF, and this is or the financial ETF, the Spider Financial ETF, which is a basket of the financial stocks. And looking at this basket, you see the bullish crossover here in the stochastics. You see the clear divergence here. But what I really see here is the really great level up here. Right up here, there's a nice. Come on, let's get this going here. Just a nice overhead resistance area, and this is really starting to look like a bottom being placed in here. So now we have the divergence because we have a recent low here. The stochastic sold off again. We had an oversold stochastic again, but now this is the basket of financials. So this is actually starting to turn back up. We're very close to this trend line. There's a good chance we could break out here on this, out of this pattern very well. A little follow through, we could easily break out here, and break out of the XLF, of course, it's just because you're going to see all these other financial stocks move higher. Even take a look at AIG, which I like a lot too, and AIG back above the 200 period moving average for the 3, 4, 5. Basically the fourth time, which is very bullish. So I'm really, really liking the financials going into tomorrow at the end of the week. We're going to continue on with the watch list, triple or quad B, 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 B. Get off the watch list. Again, looks great. I had to get into it today. I was waiting on the pullback on the stochastics, but we're starting to see the pullback, the nice little, very organized pullback here, and the price level pretty much holding sideways, a sideways consolidation here. So that we're seeing that divergence, and normally you get that push up on the stochastics and a breakout on BBBB. Hopefully that happens tomorrow. PBR, still love it to the 200. We're very close. We had a nice reversal today. PBR still looks great. There's actually a little trend line here which we're trying to take out right now. And again, what I really like about this is just the 200. This is a trade just based on this 200 period moving average that we haven't really tagged it in the last 7 months. So really liking that setup on that PBR. FRO. This one, very nice setup. Again, a nice wedge pattern. Now, just to go over this, great education here. Wedge pattern, pushed up against the downward channel here, and we kind of reversed off of this and pushing back. So, all right, so what is the issue here? Well, the issue is basically everything was telling us, hey, be careful. There's a downward trend line here, and there's oversold stochastic. We turned over. We pulled back. This looks very good here. We still have an established pattern here. We have that first retracement off of that, and that normally I look for that just a halfway, maybe a channel, 50% retracement back into the channel at most. Lots of times I won't watch the stochastics to see if we get oversold. If we just consolidate and grind up in this level before we turn up and blast up. In either case, the pullback is usually measured, and after that pullback, you see the, consider we don't go all the way back here and we start moving back up. Usually see that breakout of this pattern. So the FRO looks very good here. Another way of sometimes I measure when the, and this is off of my own studies, is I take the beginning of the wedge pattern here. I draw a line across the top of it, and when this distance between that line and down to here is equal with the top of the channel, that's where that's going. So I measured out the top of the channel here with a little shadow bar, and I'm just going to drag it across here. And when that comes into play with the downward trend line, when everything adds up, that's usually the area where the breakout happens. So we're right in this area, all around this level, and FRO is a good level. So we got the stochastics, possible turn up here coming up. We have a timing indicator. We have a measurement indicator. Everything looking good at FRO. HRS. IR was a recent trade. Took that off today. Again, that was a best bet going into this wedge pattern. Very good quality stock. Ingersoll Rand. Beautiful wedge pattern. Again, you have a little retracement back here, not even down to the 50 point, and that turn back up in the breakout. So we took that off today, IR. But again, the important thing is to continue to find these quality setups and having the opportunities to get in when you want to get. We don't have to chase anything. All we need to do is establish our indicators, establish the patterns, recognize the patterns, wait for the setups, take the setups, take profits. Simple as that. As you can see, just going over this watch list, you're seeing half of these things are, have moved perfectly off of the entries. Lockheed Martin. We took Lockheed Martin down here based on this stochastic coiled pattern here. Blew it up, took profits, re-entered it back on the pullback to the lower trend line, which just happened a couple days ago. So very, very good entry. It actually showed some better strength today. If we get a push back up, this thing is just golden. So you actually nailed this twice, on the way up and on the pullback, and that's exactly what we want to do. So trade might not be there all the time, but maybe every couple of weeks another great setup is coming up in the market. That's it's higher probability, lower risk trade. LMT. PBR, we went into that. PSMT, so I'm not going to worry about that. RTN here, Raytheon. Again, like Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, same sector, the defense. And this is a textbook pattern again. Trend line break, first retracement. How do you get the timing here properly? You wait for the stochastics to set up. I mean, yeah, you can look at the 15-minute or the 60-minute chart and see maybe a tighter pattern here developing, but the timing really comes to the lower trend. The stochastics here have set up perfect. RTN is a great trade going forward. If you're not in it, I don't think you're too late. I think it's fine. Good to go. All right. So that's the 10 for 1,000 watch list. We went over some of the financials. Now let's talk about some of the transports. And again, transports, not to even say, I would say shippers and transports, trucking, railroads, and some of the shipping stocks are all set up to GNK. Was waiting, love the base here, the triple bottom, just waiting on it. Today we got the break of it, volume, so we should get that follow through. 200 period moving average above us. This thing looks like it has another $1 in it on GNK. So I like to follow through on that. The JBHT, which is a trucking stock, oversold stochastics, crossing over to the upside, a very bullish crossover. The pullback to the 200 period moving average on the price level. The little divergence between the recent this low and the time we had oversold stochastics before is this low. So we're definitely, the potential of a change of trend here is very good on JBHT. And if you zoom out here, you could say just, I think we're due for a nice move up here on JBHT. GNK, Dyna Shipping. UPS, take a look at UPS. UPS doesn't look bad at all. Another great example of stochastic divergence. Pull back on the stochastics all the way back down. Last time we were down here, we got a nice bounce. So right here, right here, right here. And in this case, we're just really not even pulling back, but you can see what happened. You can see what happened today with the vicious crossover on the stochastics and the pullback to the 50. Everything was set up here nicely on UPS, but the stochastics, the momentum now could actually break this one higher. So UPS, that is. And that's it for that. I think we hit on everything I wanted to hit on, other than Leapfrog. I did add to Leapfrog today. I still think that's set up as a cheap stock. I kind of chased it today because it was, for whatever reason, I looked at it. Finally, I said, all right, you know what? It's not really breaking out of this pattern yet, and I do believe in this. So it looked pretty good. We had some decent volume. I want to see that follow through and breakout this week on Leapfrog. And MIR, we'll just talk about MIR fast. Again, another nice setup. I was talking about this today on the show. And, the problem here with something like this is just timing. This is a stock, and this will really prove out some things to me. This is a stock that's been in a downtrend for the last 2 years. So, again, I always talk about coming in here and just trying to, thread the needle with my eyes closed. Just coming into a point and saying this is where the bottom's going to be. If we're going to see a rally, this is where it's going to be. And pretty tough, but I'm doing this because of because of my experience in the market and recognizing these setups over and over again. And the setups are there. You don't have to. It's not a. It's not a. What's the word I'm looking for? An opinion at this point. I'm letting the stochastics tell me what to do. I'm telling you, I'm letting the chart pattern, I'm letting all the indicators tell me what to do. The moving averages, the inverted head and shoulders, the trend lines, the pullbacks, everything's telling me, all right, this is my better entry. This is a good shot of a breakthrough. I'm starting to see the divergence here versus any other time we saw in this trend. We're starting to see something a little bit different. We got a crossover very close to the trend line, and we should get that breakout. So again, I think we're going to work this to our favor in an amazing, pullback, a 2-year pullback. I think we're going to get a big move out of this, but it takes time. It takes time. All right, so that's it. Hope everyone has a good rest of the week. Again, I will be with you Sunday. You'll get the next update. We'll try to check in throughout the next couple days. Also, Friday, Thursday, and Friday, and. Show will go on as usual, and this is DayTraderRockStar. We'll be broadcasting live on DayTradingRadio.com. You can tell it's pretty late, and I got an early day tomorrow, so I'll leave this video with you guys. I'll send it out. Again, DayTradingRadio.com, and I'll talk to you guys in the markets.